On Valentine's Day, or even a date night, you don't want to spend a ton of money on desserts. You just want to relax and maybe spend this much. That is but cheaper. Okay, so we're doing date night, Valentine's Day night, desserts, whatever you want to call it. It is for your loved one, whether they're a significant other or it could be for your mom. The point is, we want to have a special occasion dessert. It's oftentimes expensive. We're here to make it not expensive. More specifically, 3 different kinds. One for this price, one for this price, and one for this price. The one other thing I do want to mention is all 3 of these are extremely easy to make. All right, it's simple ingredients cooked very quickly to make something beautiful and delicious. Now, with all that said, let's make this, shall we? Okay, we got 3 tiers of cheap and easy. Ultra easy, that's the chocolate one. Medium easy, that's the creme brulee. And the most labor intensive, but also easy, that's the rice pudding. Let's start with the easiest, a velvety chalky mousse in literally 2 minutes. And when I say chalky, I mean chocolate, for those who don't browse TikTok too much. So, in a food processor, add 2 cups or 450 grams of ricotta, let that process on high until smooth, then once smooth, continue processing, and gradually add 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of granulated sugar, followed by a small pinch of salt, then stream in 4 ounces of melted semi-sweet chocolate. Continue to process. You may have to scrape down the sides just to get it loosened. Then once it's thoroughly incorporated and velvety, that's it. I mean, look at how gorgeous this mousse is. I genuinely was pretty shocked at how well this turned out. Anyway, let's really play up the fancy look to this. Grab a very large spoon, I mean a real big boy. Get a big scoop and let it naturally fall off the spoon and drape over itself in a shallow bowl, creating a light quenelle shape. Then grate some extra chocolate on top of that, and finally a nice little scoop of ice cream. I used a small ball shape because I thought it looked cute, but obviously you could go bigger. And optionally hit the ice cream with some fresh grated nutmeg. I'm not counting that against the cost, okay? So now look at this glossy man, standing so proud and at this price right here for the whole thing. And with up to 4 servings, it's really this much per serving. Okay, next up we're gonna make a creme brulee. Yeah, who would have thought creme brulee would make the butt cheaper cut? First, start by cracking 5 eggs into a small bowl, separate out the yolks and place those golden boys into a medium-sized bowl. Save the egg whites for, I don't know, a meringue or a sad egg white omelet. In a small saucepan, add 2 cups or 475 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, along with a half teaspoon or 4 grams of sea salt, and 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of vanilla extract. For the record, vanilla bean is way better, but you know, this is but cheaper, blah blah blah. Mix that together and whisk over medium heat until hot and steamy, but not boiling. Now, while that's heating, using electric beaters or a strong arm and a whisk, begin beating your egg yolks, then gradually add half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar, a little splash at a time, while continuously beating until all of it is added. By the end, it should be lightened in color and a little bit thicker, like you see here. Now, once your cream is hot, whisk in a little splash into your egg yolks, stir that in, mix it a little more, and keep doing that just until your yolks are hot. Then pour the yolk mixture back into the cream, mix together until thoroughly combined, and pour into a bowl through a mesh sieve. Now, to avoid too many foam bubbles, I like to use a skimmer to skim off any excess foam from the top layer of your creme brulee base. This next part is real easy. Get 4 6-ounce ramekins, place them in a baking dish, then evenly divide your creme brulee base amongst the 4 ramekins. Then pour in enough boiling water around the ramekins, not in them, to come up about 3/4 of the way up the ramekin. Then gently place that in an oven set to 325 Fahrenheit for 30 to 40 minutes or just until set but still jiggly. Pull those guys out of the oven, out of their hot water bath, and let them cool in a wire rack until completely cool. Now once they're room temperature, I don't know why this stupid. Wrap them in plastic wrap and pop them in the fridge to set and chill for at least 4 hours and ideally overnight. Look, these are real easy to make and I would recommend doing it the night before because then you just pull them out and yeah. Now once you're ready to serve, give the tops a light sprinkling with granulated sugar and brush with a kitchen torch or pop them under your broiler until the sugar is caramelized with a light bit of char here and there. Now let that cool till glassy, crack, and enjoy a nostalgic moment for this price right here. Alright, next up is one of the fanciest rice puddings you've ever seen. Start with a medium-sized sauce pot and add 1 cup or 220 grams of arborio rice, yes, the same kind for risotto, followed by half a cup plus 3 tablespoons or 125 grams of granulated sugar, then pour in 4.5 cups or 1 liter of whole milk, half a cup or 120 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of vanilla extract, and finally 1 cinnamon stick, but wait, dang it, Josh. Getting ahead of yourself here. Pro tip, give this guy a nice light char with either a kitchen torch or under your broiler until it looks like this. Then add it to your pot. Set that on the stove over medium-high, stirring often, and as soon as it comes to a rapid simmer, immediately reduce the heat to medium-low. Then let that simmer, cook, and thicken, stirring occasionally for about 20 to 25 minutes or until the rice is tender and thickened like this. Please, no undercooked rice. Pour that into a bowl, cover with plastic, and let it sit in the fridge until cool or room temp, or however you like it. Some people like it hot, I prefer it cold. Once you pull it out, it may have thickened a little bit, so feel free to add a little more milk or cream to help loosen it, so it's a little closer to a risotto consistency. Now before we plate this up, get 1 to 2 large bananas, peel them
centrally in front of your lover this Valentine's Day. Ooh. Banana rotate.
Cut them in half lengthwise so they look like this, and place them on a foil-lined baking sheet. Sprinkle the cut ends with sugar to coat completely, and yet again, either torch them with a kitchen torch or place them under a broiler until they are beautifully caramelized and glassy. Now to plate this up, put a big dollop of rice pudding in the center of a nice plate. Tap the plate on the bottom to get it flat and shake it to get a nice, relatively even circle. Then gently place on your caramelized banana, artfully, of course. Attention to detail, homies. Now follow that up with a nice line of about 1 to 2 tablespoons of crushed pistachios and an optional light dusting of ground cinnamon. I mean, look at that. Childhood memories with a little bit more finesse and a very fair price of this guy right here. Now, let us taste test this with our lady friend of the evening. Or well, of every evening. Now she's gonna get mad at me. A butt cheaper combined with a Valentine's dessert menu. You've got 3 choices here. For this price, beep, beep, for that price, bah, and for this price, boom. That's pretty good. Collectively, you could do all of these for a grand total of right here. I don't think I can do this without a taste tester, specifically a significant other. Catherine, please enter the frame.
Hi.
Okay, I want you to taste this and then guess how much you think it costs to make it. Manufactured by Joshua Weissman.
Ooh, that's good. I like the banana. Is it caramelized? Is that the word?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's right. How much do you think this costs?
$30.
I actually don't know yet because we haven't calculated it, but it's this much after we calculated it.
I feel like if I were
Whoa, that's a big difference, I hope. Do you know what this is?
Creme Brulee.
Get a little bit of, oh, you did, okay.
Ooh, that's good. I like the crunchy sugar at the top.
I haven't even tried this one yet.
It's good. That's my words.
It's creamy, it's rich, it's got the classic creme brulee flavor that you love, and that caramelized sugar just brings it all together, brother. So guess on the price to make that?
$18.
$18. Well, it's actually chocolate mousse. Now, eat that and tell me how much you think it is.
Wow, it's really good. Tastes like dark chocolate. Creamy.
So it's rich.
Rich. Chocolatey.
Dark.
Dark. I think this would be $18.
The price is this much. I actually haven't tried this yet. This is my first time making this recipe. This hits. If you're a chocolate mousse person, this is the recipe for you. This is just as rich, just as velvety, creamy, and it has a nice volume to it. It's unctuous. There's weight, there's magnitude to this mousse. You wanna know what else would make both yourself and your date weak in the knees? B-roll. All right, guys, and that is it. So, butt cheaper episode. I genuinely have not a single clue. Out of these 3 desserts, I think I have one specific favorite, and that is the rice pudding. I've always wanted to do a fancier rice pudding. Do I think this is as fancy as I can make it? Absolutely not. No, not even close. But it is a little more upscale for the average home cook. Now, the creme brulee is creme brulee. It's not really that different of a recipe, just most people don't know that it's really cheap to make. And then of course there's the chocolate mousse, which looks a little bit like poopy, but that's okay because it's yummy. And that's all I have to say about that. So with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. I can't stop thinking about poopy now. That's...